Many of my clients are asking me if it's possible to vibe code their own SaaS if they don't know how to code. I'll say yes, of course it is possible, but you have to think like an architect and vibe code like a pro. This is how you do it, and for free. You might have heard about Cloud Code, but I don't really like it because it costs $200 a month, and I think you can find way better for free. As the saying goes, it doesn't matter how many resources you have, if you don't know how to use them, they will never be enough. This is why I'm going to show you how to vibe code your own SaaS like a pro, like an architect, for free. OpenCode is an excellent alternative to Cloud Code. It's open source and it's free. First thing you're going to do is you're going to click the download button here and you're going to follow the installation procedures. Then you're going to have an agent. Run it by typing OpenCode. There we go. And you will see that you are using Big Pickle here. This is actually a Chinese model called the GLM 4.6, which is honestly very, very good. And I would say it's at the same level as many of Anthropic's other models, like Sonnet or Opus. But if this is the only thing that you're doing for the moment, you're going to have many problems. What are the problems with AI? Many of them are related to the context window. So the context window is the conversation that you're having with your model. Imagine a conversation that you're having with a friend that is taking more and more time. After a while, you will probably end up forgetting the beginning of the conversation. It's going to be the same every time that you are interacting with an LLM. There's going to be a number of tokens that you're going to feed inside of the model and that the model will give you back. This model will be the conversation, the code, and all the information that it needs to make decisions. The longer it gets, the more information gets overwritten because there's just too much and it cannot handle it. This is a problem called short-term amnesia. And it also creates problems like high-level drift, which means that after a while, the whole conversation might not get translated into real actionable, good snippets of code. This is when you start getting hallucinations and bugs, and then this is when the LLM starts creating bugs or just hot fixes instead of just writing code that is proper and that is actually following a real plan and following a real PRD, product requirement document. You can see this when you start interacting with any kind of LLM. If you say hello, for example, you are going to see here, right there, that I'm already 6% of my context window here. The longer this conversation takes, the higher this percentage will go. Once it reaches 80%, even if I compact the conversation, I can bring it down to maybe 30%, 40%, but I'm going to have this problem again and again. And even Claude is going to have this problem. No matter what piece of technology you have, it's going to have the same problem, even in plan mode. The solution to this is called GSD, called Get Shit Done. This is my favorite workflow. This is a product that is actually a system that forces the AI to go into a workflow. We're going to install it on top of OpenCode by typing this command inside of our terminal. The way it works is it's a loop of 6 commands, and each one of them does exactly one thing: to initialize, then it's going to ask you a lot of questions to really understand your requirements, and then it's going to create a roadmap. Now, the difference is that every time there's a phase of talking about a requirement, discussing it, and then planning it, and then executing it, and then verifying it, every time there is a phase, instead of staying inside of the short-term memory, this system, GSD, is going to write down files on your file system. This way, even if you reset the whole conversation, it knows exactly where to start from. So you see, this is exactly what I was talking about. The context bloat. As the session grows, the quality degrades. GSD keeps your main context clean by doing the heavy work in fresh sub-agent context. So it's going to spin up a sub-agent for every task, and because it reuses files on your file system, there will be no shared memory. GSD maintains structured artifacts that survive session boundaries. So even if you reset your computer, you can still continue the project. Project.md, requirements.md for the scope, roadmap.md where you're going, and the current state.md and context.md. Every new session loads these and knows exactly where things stand. So let's follow this. Let's start with GSD new project. Let's go inside of our session here, and let's type /. Or let me show you how to install it first, maybe. I typed Control-C to exit OpenCode. Let's copy this line here. You might need to have node.js installed. Let's paste it here. Go. Sorry, I was using the wrong terminal. Okay, there we are. So it's going to ask you, do you want to install? Yes. Right, let's initialize it. Let's create a new directory. Let's call it my OpenCode project. Let's go inside my OpenCode project right there. And now let's run OpenCode. And type /GSD new project. New project. Let's go. And now it's going to ask us a lot of questions. It's already been doing a lot of the setup, and now it's going to ask for an idea document. So we don't have any file for the moment, but we need to describe what we're going to be doing. So let's do this. I'd say I want to create an app that allows users to get put suggestions based on their preferences. For example, something like this. Now, OpenCode, GSD is going to ask me for a lot of questions to make sure that the PRD will be written. So how finally should the scope be sliced into phases? So I'm going to say, yeah, of course. And then there's going to be granularity, run plan in parallel. I'm going to say, yes, yes. So a lot of questions will be asked. Okay, let's go, yep. And then at each different phase, you are going to see that once we get through the PRD, there's going to be, now we're in the discussion phase, and there will be files written. If you want to see it, I'll show you the file after it's done. Let's say research before playing. Yes, it's going to research, verify work satisfies requirements after each phase. Let's say yes. And let's say with the AI models, we can say balanced. Okay, good. Let's submit. During this, you can see that my context window here is at 21% already. But don't worry, every agent will run in a new context window because it will be reading from the files that are written on the hard drive. Now I'm opening my folder here, my OpenCode project, and you can see that now a folder has appeared here called .planning. If we see inside, we can see a project.md that has appeared, and GSD is writing it's writing this file. What this is, a web app that recommends books based on user preferences. Users can share their reading taste, blah, 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 validated, active. So a lot of files are being sent here. Oh, now we have requirements.md that has arrived. Okay, so at any point now, I can stop and continue a bit later. Here, what is creating? The project.md, the requirements, the roadmap, the state, and a lot of things. Then during the discuss phase, it will ask you questions about your implementation preferences. This is how you shape how it builds, not just what it builds. It's going to create these context MD for each phase. Then it's going to spawn 4 parallel research agents, stack features, architecture, pitfalls, put everything inside of a context.md. Then once you're fine with it, it's going to execute the phase into waves, parallel where independent, sequential where dependent. It's going to spawn a fresh 200,000 context executor per plan and commit each task. If at any point you want to pause your work, you can do /DSD pause work. This is important because we want everything to be written down inside of a file. So next time you come back, it's going to be reading exactly from this file and you will not be losing any kind of context. So GSD pause work, and then once you're done, when you come back, GSD resume work. So this is going to be the best way for you to create your dream project with vibe coding while still remaining in a very professional setting manner, even if you don't know how to code. This way, by using GSD on top of OpenCode, first of all, it's going to be free, and still you will be working with a PRD and a discussion plan and an execution phase, and you will have granularity at every single step of the workflow. If you need a CTO as a teacher to help you create your project, feel free to book a call with me and then we can talk about your project together.